I'm thrilled to welcome our next keynote. It's going to be on discovery shopping, how to create confidence and inspire self-expression. For this session, we're joined by Rohan Deuskar, CEO of Stylitics, and Tim Baxter, CEO at Express. Now, I've known Rohan for several years now. I've been incredibly impressed with how he's pivoted Stylitics from initially a digital closet to a very powerful merchandising tool. And I'm excited that he's here today to talk about some of the lessons from his experience in working with Express. Rohan, please join us on the virtual stage and tell us about discovery shopping.
Thank you, Veronica. So I'm going to try to keep this fast and high energy because the main event is Tim Baxter coming on stage with us. So I'm going to try to give you a little primer of discovery commerce, and then we'll go from there. So let me start, since we have retail experts and press in the room, with probably the least controversial statement that anyone is going to make on stage, which is this retail truth that when you show people how to style a product in different ways, they're more likely to buy it, right? Nodding heads, everybody agrees. Not a new concept. That's the Sears catalog from 1919, 1,500 pages sent to your home, full of styling inspiration. So if you want to know, if you're a gentleman and you want to know how to look stylish while pushing your child at the end of a stick of some sort, you have that guidance. And now, of course, this is how people find inspiration, right? It's not something new. I won't belabor the point, by the way, because I see violent agreement from the crowd. If you're watching on the live stream, everybody's nodding, cheering. I think everyone is in full agreement that this works. When you show people how to style products, they're more likely to buy them. So the strange thing is that even though we all completely agree with this fact, and where most retailers say that they are investing in this area and they want to provide fashion inspiration to their shoppers, we have this strange inspiration gap, which is if you are a shopper online on a product detail page, less than 1% of the time you're actually going to find styling suggestions for the products you're looking at. Right, so retailers are saying, we believe in this, we all agree with this audience, we're going to definitely invest in this, we are investing in it. And shoppers are saying, I'm not kind of seeing the benefit of that. I see images on homepage, but I really don't see it where I need it, right at the moment I need it. And so those of you who have faced this before are saying, listen, this is not news to us, this is not a big idea, no inspiration, no new insights, Rohan, from you so far. This is all stuff that we completely know because this is the quality versus scale trade-off that we face every year. We talk about it all the time in merchandising and marketing, in digital, which is, as a brand, historically, if you really want to provide fashion inspiration, you have two choices. You can either do quality or you can do scale, right? So if you pick the quality path to create inspirational content for your shoppers, you get your merchants to pick products, stylists to put them into outfits, you get a studio, and it looks beautiful, it looks editorial, it's super expensive, it's super hard to scale, and maybe you style 30 products a month, right? That's the quality option that a lot of retailers take. Or, recently, you pick the AI solution, right? Which is, and I'll try to be polite here, trying to get your customers to look at a sad little row of products and mash together in their minds how to put an outfit together when there's 6 legs in the images, right? So this is the trade-off. And by the way, this makes your merchants cry because the shopper, now they know that shoppers think that this is the best style inspiration that your brand can provide them, right? So it makes them really miserable to think that this is what represents the brand. So this has been the historical trade-off, that quality versus style trade-off. And this is what our company, Stylitics, has been obsessed with solving for the last 6 years, right? This is an absolute obsession for us. This is my obsessed face from my handsomer days, right? That's a real photograph. And absolutely obsessed with solving this, in sort of breaking through this trade-off. And for us, the fundamental thing is, in this industry, we cannot have a solution that does not put quality of the outfits first, right? Or quality of the bundles first. So every outfit, it must be high quality. All outfits have to be editorial. Let's just start there as a requirement to really bring this to shoppers online, right? They have to be editorial, no rows of products, because that's, for the last 100 years, that's what people have responded to. So let's not try to find a lesser solution. Also, every outfit has to be completely on brand. No generic bundles across different brands and retailers. A merchant should be able to look at every single outfit out of the thousands of outfits that hopefully will be as part of the ecosystem and say, this represents our voice. This is us. And finally, outfits have to tell a story. Right? If you're going to provide inspiration to your shopper, it has to show versatility. It has to show occasions and trends and themes. There has to be some component that is actually reinforcing for the shopper that this product can be styled a lot of different ways. Right? So those are the standards by which our little company has been operating. Right? And the other dimension is this solution has to be something that actually scales not just for an individual brand, but for the industry. It can't be something that if you have the right feeds and the right format and all of these things and a big team of merchants, then you can do it. It has to be something that actually scales for most brands and retailers. So I'm on stage today. I'm not here to announce, by the way, we've been focused on this for a long time. I'm not here to announce that, hey, last month we had a big breakthrough and we've sort of solved this trade-off, right? I'm actually here to tell you that that breakthrough was 3 years ago, right? A lot has been going on, so it's okay if you missed it. But this has gone already from that breakthrough to being absolutely mainstream. And I see some skeptical faces. So let me give you 3 stats. And at the end of it, you'll say, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have been skeptical, Rohan. So number 1, Stylitics produces and publishes more original fashion content than any other company in the world. Right? Impossible 3 years ago. Meaning, there's more fashion content, original editorial images coming from our 120-person company here in New York than any other massive publisher in the world. We're doing it because there's about 100 major retailers who are already using this at scale. You probably have started to see this, right? But it's about 100 major retailers already using it at scale, and across millions of products, on product detail pages in a lot of other places, and apparel, accessories, home, kids, plus, beauty, right? Sports is a huge one. So this is already widely in use. And finally, about 100 million shoppers every month are interacting with this sort of content as they shop, on product pages and a lot of other places. This is now, for shoppers, part of the ecosystem. It's becoming more and more mainstream. It's going from mainstream to universal pretty soon. 3 years ago, that 100 retailer number was maybe 10 companies experimenting with it. In 2 years, it's going to be 500 or 1,500, I don't know, but it's really starting to ramp up that adoption phase. And by the way, these are Stylitics numbers, but Stylitics is 95% of this category, or more than 95% of the category. So for all intents and purposes, this is industry data. So what I'd love to show you is how this is actually being used by one of these incredible brands. So you all obviously know Express, and a great company going through an amazing and very successful transformation. And at the heart of that transformation is a brand purpose, which is to create confidence and inspire self-expression for customers. So I'd love to show you in a few minutes how Express is using the solution, which ultimately is just a solution, to really drive forward and reinforce that brand purpose and deliver on it for their shoppers. Okay, ready? Cool. So first of all, Express ramped up these sorts of outfits. You see them up there across most of their product pages. So now the Express shopper on most of the product pages sees beautiful, on-brand, editorial, high-quality, interactive, shoppable outfits, like the ones you see there, right, for men's and women's, across most of their pages. And if you scroll through that, you're going to see 3 or 5 or 10 or 15 different ways to wear the same product. So really showing the versatility of the product. And it's incredibly powerful because you take the product detail page from being transactional to actually being inspiring and helpful for the shopper. So from there, Express has built out galleries, lookbooks, featured shops. Right? On different occasions, trends, you see the visual scrolling up there. These are the themes, the trends, the occasions, the fabrics, the collections that Express wants to feature at the moment. They can swap it out really fast, and they do. And it changes the shopper behavior from thinking of Express just as a place I go to buy products, but actually into a style destination. Right? If you're somebody who's looking to shop for a particular occasion or a particular style, or you're thinking about how to go back to work, you can start here, and it's actually serving as a style destination for you. Super powerful. Now that you have this capability, right, they're starting to mix it in with the storytelling that they've been doing. Right? So it's not that they don't go back to the studio and shoot editorial images. They still do. It's very powerful. But now they can combine it with shoppable outfits. So you can actually turn your editorial experiences and your storytelling into something that customers can interact with, which customers love. A big friction point for retailers or for customers is that I love the images, but I can't interact with them or shop. So you can see some great examples here. And now that they have this flow of fresh, updated content at all times, they're able to use it across different channels. So this is an example from the social feed showing those outfits. So Instagram style outfits for every single product on demand is a transformational experience for your omnichannel strategies. Right? So suddenly you can do a lot more than you could before. And my favorite program actually from Express is not even up here. If you want to check it out, you'll have to buy a product. Because it's a personalized outfit email that comes to you after you've bought a product, the part of their buildable wardrobe email program, and shows you how versatile the product you just bought is. Right? Think about how much that's nailing the brand purpose that they've set out to deliver on. Right? If I'm out shopping, I go to Express, I buy a product. A couple of days later, I get an email that says, the product you just bought, look at all the different ways you can style it. Here's how you can use it with things in your own wardrobe. And it's not a sales email, it's a service email. It's there to support me, which makes me feel really good about the purchase I just made, makes me feel really good about the brand, and makes me really excited for the product I just bought. So it's completely delivering on that brand purpose with tools like this. So it's very generous of Express to share results. It's not often that you get hard numbers. Let's take a look at the results. First of all, in terms of achieving the goal of quality and scale together, more than 7,000 outfits, those in that editorial format, on site right now. Right, these are updated, refreshed over and over again as seasons change, as time passes, as new arrivals come in. And so over the course of the year, they might have 50,000 outfit ideas for shoppers that are interactive and shoppable. We had all fully agreed at the beginning of this conversation that when you show people how to style a product, they're more likely to buy it. Here's the proof. Here's the proof. Double conversion rate for people who see outfits. Right? Double. When you show a customer how to style a product, and you do it the right way, you do it as part of a bigger purpose and a strategy, you see these results. And my favorite stat, if I can press the button right, is this one. 60%, oops, we'll go back, 60% upsell, 60% increase in average order values from outfitting. I think that this is, for me, this reads as the shopper rewarding and appreciating Express for actually delivering on their brand promise, or their brand purpose, and delivering a higher level experience than they're used to elsewhere. Right? That shows in this stat to me. So I have a bold statement as we start to wrap up, right? I think digital style inspiration is the fastest and easiest revenue opportunity for retailers in 2022. Okay, it's the fastest and it's the easiest. This is the lowest of low-hanging fruit. And if a retailer can invest in this, they absolutely should. Right? So if you work for a brand or a retailer and this is something that appeals to you, you should go back and tell your team, right? And if you want me, my email address is on the bottom of these slides. If you can see it, if it's cut off, you can come talk to me. I'll send you the deck so you can help convince your teams. I'll come. I will talk about the Sears catalog. We'll talk about the guy with the stick. We'll do the whole thing, right? We'll come because this is something that's too good for you to really pass up. There are two takeaways if you don't want me to come and do my little song and dance, which is, number one, when your teams say, we've looked at this in the past, we looked at it 3 years ago, it's something that, there's this trade-off, it's really difficult, it's a new era for digital inspiration. Things are dramatically different now, at least from Stylitics, where you don't have the same challenges, you don't have the same roadblocks, you don't have the same requirements, right? So it's a new era in this category. And finally, and most importantly, is the companies that are being most successful with this are the ones who have leaders who truly understand that this is not a feature, it's a part of a core brand strategy, right? If you if you're looking for double conversion and 60% increase in average order values, the way to get there is not the solution that we provide, but it's the vision from the leaders to say this is a core part of our strategy. So, with that, I'm very, very happy to invite up on stage one of those visionary leaders. Please join me in welcoming Tim Baxter, CEO of Express. Tim, thank you so much. Have a seat. Tim, first of all, a big thank you on behalf of...
I'm too short for this chair, Rohan.
I think I'm too fat for the chair. A big thank you to you and your team for being so generous to share the visuals, share data. It's very rare that retailers do that now, and I think it's tremendously generous of you, so thank you for that.
You're welcome. Our pleasure.
This is obviously just one part of your overall vision for Express, and I'd love to know a little bit more about that, if you can just speak about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I joined Express just over 2 years ago, and you mentioned it, but I'll say it again because it's something that is integral to our transformation, and that is, our brand purpose. So I've said many times when I've spoken to many people that we are transforming from being known as a store at the mall, right? I mean, 2 years ago, actually 2 years ago when I said to people I was joining Express, they go, oh, the store at the mall. That's how we were known. Yeah. And so we're transforming the company and the brand from being known as a store at the mall to a brand with a purpose, powered by a styling community. Yeah. And so everything that we do, every decision that we make is in service of that brand purpose. And we have a very clearly articulated strategy called the Expressway Forward. And in the Expressway Forward, there are 4 foundational pillars: product, brand, customer, and execution. And we stay focused on those 4 foundational pillars, but again, everything we do within each one of those pillars is in service of our brand purpose, to create confidence and inspire self-expression. And it's a purpose that, to your point, has resonated extraordinarily well with our consumers and with new consumers who we're bringing into the brand.
Right. And so, I mean, there's so much you could do within that overall brand purpose. So why pick things like this now amongst all of the things that you could be focused on?
Yeah, well, we have been focused on a whole bunch of things, yeah. And it is a top to bottom sort of soup to nuts sort of transformation. Yeah. But like I said, if everything we do is in service of that brand purpose to create confidence and inspire self-expression, we look at all of the different options that we have, whether it's in our physical stores, in our digital space, within our product assortments, everything we look at through that lens. And Stylitics, I think you could all agree after seeing Rohan's incredible presentation, Stylitics actually sort of embodies our brand purpose. It embodies it. When customers see how they can style different things and the many different ways that they can style different things, and the versatility that one item may have for them as they build a wardrobe, that creates an incredible confidence in someone on how to put things together. And we know that customers crave that. They want the inspiration. Right. And for those customers who are really confident themselves, it just inspires self-expression, yeah. Right? It just like triggers something in their mind, and they figure out how they want to put it together. So Stylitics for us was a very easy choice. It also ladders directly back up to go back to the strategic part. So that's the purpose part, but the strategic part, we've set a goal to drive $1 billion in revenue in e-commerce over the next several years. Yeah. And in order to get to that goal, Stylitics converting it two times our average and driving a 60% higher AOV, also supports our strategic goals.
This is obviously a selfish question from my perspective, but given it's so obvious to you, it seems obvious to most. What do you think are the hurdles for people to adopt this? Like, why is not everybody a Tim Baxter? Well, let me rephrase the question. There's so many ways to answer that.
You don't even have to, yeah. Rohan. I think that it goes back to sort of what you originally said. There are so many options. There are so many things that industry leaders are weighing every day. And I don't think that many companies do a great job of so clearly defining their purpose that it makes decisions about which one of the 100 things you can choose from. It just makes those decisions easier.
Right.
Because, out of those 100 things, only 5 might really land, right squarely in line with what your purpose is. Mm-hmm. And then you can, look at those 5 and say which are the ones that are going to have the greatest impact on our business results. Right. So I think it's a 2-part thing. This is aligned with our purpose. It can drive X business result, therefore it makes sense. And I think that particularly in the digital space, there's been so much innovation, there's been so much change, and to be honest, I think that a lot of people chase whatever shiny penny, comes along, and they invest in a whole lot of things that don't necessarily change the experience for their customer or align with whatever their customer is coming to their brand for.
Right.
So it has to be authentic, to what you're trying to do. And so I would say, from my perspective, certainly anybody in the fashion apparel business, but I can see, Stylitics being perfectly valid in a whole lot of different spaces. There's no reason, from my perspective, that if you're managing an apparel and accessories business in particular, but like I said, I can think of many other businesses where it makes sense, that you wouldn't want to adopt Stylitics and give your customer the opportunity to experience your assortment in an entirely different way.
Right. I'm seeing some zeros on the screen, but I'm going to try to sneak in one more question, if that's okay. Yeah,
I talk too much. Sorry.
I was supposed to stay under 6 minutes. I think I took something like 45. So with such a clear purpose and a lot of things to support that and the success you're already seeing, 2024, 2025, do you have a sense of kind of your relationship with the customer at that point?
Yeah, I think, I talked about being powered by a styling community. And what's really remarkable, Rohan, is we're actually beginning to see our customers interacting with each other and giving each other confidence and actually inspiring self-expression in each other. I try very hard to read as many comments in social media as I can. Some of them are painful, others are very inspiring. But that interaction between our customers is starting to form the foundation of that styling community.
Right.
We're moving forward with a different store experience. We're 10,000 associates strong, so they're going to be an integral part of our styling community. And then the digital experience is going to be a really critical part. So 3 years from now, I see Express customers as a community of people who create confidence and inspire self-expression for each other.
And you've made some announcements that's recently, haven't you?
We did. We announced that we launched community commerce, which is a really important sort of cornerstone for our billion-dollar e-commerce strategy, and that gives anyone the opportunity to apply to be an Express style editor. They can build their own storefront that links directly to express.com. They'll have exclusive product that we're developing in conjunction with them, working with them actually to have exclusive products. So that'll be a great cornerstone of it.
Tim, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rohan. Thank you all.
Join me in a big round of applause. Thanks so much. Thank you.